Hey guys, so real quick, we're just going to do how I do my sample glitters. I buy these little kits that I get from Amazon. They are coin holders, and this is what our samples look like. And then I just label the back. So just a real quick how I put together my samples. So first thing I do is I take my little piece. It has a top and a bottom, and there's a little notch in here for you to pull it apart. So you want to make sure that you fill the bottom part. So my lid will go over the top of this. Otherwise, you're going to fill up your lid and then the bottom part is not going to go on. All right, so tonight I am doing about 10 of them. I have 2, 4, 6, 7 glitters and 3 pigments. So the way I do it is I have some epoxy that I've mixed up here. It's been sitting for a couple of minutes while I put some on a cup. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this with some heat real quick just to get rid of my bubbles. Just going to use my embossing gun. Okay, so now all I do is I'm taking a metal stir stick. Oh man, I'm going to have bad shadow. Metal stir stick, and then I'm going to just put about, I don't know, about the size of a dime in there, and it will kind of spread out and even out on its own. So I just go ahead and do how many ever samples I'm going to do. I just do them all at the same time. And you don't want to do too many at once. When I first started doing these, I had a whole bunch of glitters I had to do, and I was doing probably 30 or 40 of them at a time, and that was pushing it because your epoxy will start to get thick. And all right, so as you can see, my epoxy is starting to kind of level out in there. And you don't need to fill these all the way up either, just a little bit to get your sample. Okay, so just wipe off my stick here because I'm going to use it to stir with. So tonight, goodness, I don't have any super fine glitters. So this one is it's pretty personal. It's Kingdom White Lies. It's kind of a medium. So I will stir it. I don't stir his glitter or my really big chunkies. If my chunkies have different, what am I looking for? My different sizes in it, then I will stir it. So I'm just gonna dump a little bit in here. Whoa, that was kind of a lot. That came out fast, but that's okay. Because even if it doesn't mix up all the way, it's okay. So I'm just gonna carefully stir this. Try not to drop it. I put too much in this, it dumped out, but it's not gonna matter. I'm trying to mix it so I don't get it all over in my other samples down below. Okay, so it's kind of thick and pasty. So I'm just gonna kind of even that out. Kind of flatten it all down in there. And then, of course, our epoxy will level out and it'll do its thing naturally. So there's that one. So once I get my glitter sample, if I'm doing a whole bunch at a time, I just go ahead and I set my glitter sample on top of my glitter bottle, and then I put it off to the side and forget about it. All right, so let's do one that is, this one is his crushed crayons. So this one I will not stir because his glitter is kind of heavy, so it will sink anyways. So I'm just gonna dump some in there. Kind of shake it around on there so I have good coverage. Like I mentioned, my epoxy's been sitting for a few minutes because I put it on a cup, and this is what I have left over. But I wanted to show you guys how I do this. So anyways, okay, so there's our His Crushed crayons, and if I dump that over because I didn't stir it, it'll make a mess. So just set it right there on top. And so one of these is a shape. This one is holographic fall leaves. All of my glitters are from It's Pretty Personal. I don't know if I said that already. So I will take just a couple and just kind of place them in there. And this has several different colors in it. It helps if I stay in frame here. So I'll try to get a little bit of everything in here. Maybe one more. My lighting is so rough that I'm not seeing very well because it's getting pretty late here. So I just have my little desk lamp, and I'm just kind of trying to push these two apart. There we go. So that's how I do my shapes. So that there's just a few in there so you can kind of see how they look, yada yada. And I won't do any more. Okay, put our lid back on that one and set our sample on there. So tomorrow, when everything is nice and set, I will just come through and I will have my labels ready. This one is Glow Glitter Rave Ready, and this one is a glow in the dark glitter. It is super awesome. I love it. So I'm going to go ahead and stir this one because it is different sizes in there. Just kind of the same thing, just kind of move it around in that epoxy a little bit and let her do its thing naturally. With something like this, I'll show you here, close up. So I have some spots that are, oh, that's terrible, that are not solid, that are see-through. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit on top so that I have a solid coverage. I don't want blank spots. So after I do this, this is wasteful, but I'll just dump it like this. And so it's still completely covered. And most of the time I'm doing a whole bunch of these at once, so I'll literally usually just toss that in the garbage, but not today. Okay, and we have Glow Party. This one is a blue, also from It's Pretty Personal. Same thing. Dump her on in there. Give her a little stir. And then we shall dump some more in the top for good coverage, because epoxy changes the way some glitter under epoxy looks a little bit different than it does in the bottles. So I like to have these samples for if I need to do some color matching for my water slides, or for, you know, just to see how colors look next to each other, that kind of thing. And they're awesome if you do craft shows and that kind of stuff, because then you can show everyone what glitters you have. They're super easy to look through, and you don't have to haul around a bunch of glitters, and they're small and compact. They're perfect. So this one, I've been so excited. I've had this one for like 2 weeks and have yet to make my sample. So yay, finally getting to this one. This one is, I'm going to shake this up a little bit because there is a lot of different sizes in here. So I just want to make sure I get a good variety. I'll dump her in here. Stir it up just a little bit. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? I should have done this in better light. Super duper duper pretty. My light sucks. I'm sorry. And again, a little bit on the top to make sure we don't have any naked spots that are showing through. So when we put our lids on with our label, we don't have the labels showing through our glitter and whatnot. Now, if I'm doing a cheat glitter or like my glow in the dark, those kinds, and of course I didn't grab that. Let me grab those and show you real quick. So, because cheat glitters are going to look different on different colored bases. So with my cheat glitters, I only label half of it so that, say I have a customer who wants, I have a blue background, I can put my cheat glitter on top and they can see what color it's going to be. I know you can't hardly see that on camera, but so that's what I do with my cheat glitters and my like colored pigments, or not, the ghost micas. So I have on this one, I have a white and a black because it looks way different. This one is kind of a purple color. I don't think my camera is going to pick it up, but it looks best over black. So I wanted to put a black and a white background under that. So anyways, that's what I do for those. Now we have one more glitter, and then I have a couple of pigment colors. Now these pigment colors, when you mix them in, you want very, very little. This one is Kingdom Queenship. Super, super pretty. This one is gorgeous. This Kingdom line is perfect, especially if you struggle with ombres, because they blend just perfectly with each other. There's a whole line of different colors, and she's getting more colors. So if you need to practice on your ombres, get the Kingdom line because it makes it so easy. You will be a pro in no time, or at least look like you are, because the glitter is that amazing. All right, and once again, I'm just gonna cover the top so I have really good coverage. Dump out my excess. It's late, I need to go to bed. Okay, put this one up here. Okay, so now we have pigments. These are kind of a color shift. This one is 2M. These take very, 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 very little. In fact, I did some other pigments, and in my samples, I used too much. So I need to redo them because, I mean, it just takes barely any. So this is how much I am going to put in this. And that's it. Because it literally takes that much, especially for something this small. All right, clean off my stir stick again. I don't want any glitter in there. Then we'll just stir this up, let it dissolve. Maybe should have done this one before I did all my glitters. That's okay. These look best if you do them like on a black base. Half tempted to even maybe after this sets to do a black background, like maybe put some black dyed epoxy in on top of it, because I don't know how even I'm going to be able to get it. I might have to hit this with some heat just to get it to flatten out and be nice and smooth. Okay, so here's that one, and I can't tip it up to show you, but you can maybe see it's kind of a purple to blue shift. It's so freaking pretty. Oh, okay, I don't want to hang it upside down too long. So that is the pigment. A pigment is pretty much just like a mica, but it's more pigmented. You can't really see through it like you can a mica, so it takes a lot less and it goes a lot further. I've used so much of this one that I almost have to get more already. This is 1M. It's a purple, I think it's a purple goldish. It's hard to tell because my lighting in here is so terrible. I'll be able to tell once I get it mixed in here real good. I just want to make sure I don't have any chunks in there and that it's all nice and dissolved. Whoop. All right, set that one to the side and just kind of let it do its thing. And one last one. This is 3M. This is a greenish color, super duper pretty. And just a little tiny scoop. That scooper I'm using is, I got it from one of those scratch off kits that, you know, you scratch off the black stuff and you have, it reveals the color in there. And it works perfect for scooping micas and pigments and stuff like that. Had a little more epoxy in this one. It's kind of working out pretty nicely. I like how much is in this one. Okay. And then put our lid back on this one and let it sit to level out. And there we have it. So once I am done, I just take a sheet that is printable vinyl, and I cut out the whole sheet in circles. And these are, gosh, I don't even remember how big these are. These are 3/4 inch circles. And then I just write on there what it is, and I will write them all, and then I will put my lids on the back of each one of my things, and I will stick the label on there, and bam, there we have it, all done. And then I will organize them however I have them organized in my little fancy smanchy containers. They close for easy carrying. They stack on top of each other pretty nice. And there we have it. So that's how I do my little samples.